My uncle called me because of a family text thread, and he's like, Roxanne, I think I offended Cousin Billy. And I went back and read it.
Cousin Billy?
And
Are you sure that's not Cousin Billy Bob?
No, Cousin Billy got offended by Uncle who?
Bruce.
Uncle Bruce.
I'm not going to mock it.
Oh, you might.
By the way, that is a nice Thanksgiving tablecloth you're wearing on your
Thank you.
your body.
This actually will be the family tablecloth coming up on Thanksgiving.
Very pilgrimy.
I think that could really fit over a family-sized table. We should test it.
Could.
Test it out.
I actually bought this from a Miata store, and it was a car cover.
Fess is wearing
that's old school.
Fess is wearing a shirt today. Is this new? I don't know if I've seen this one.
I've had this before.
Right.
He rocks it on work
He's
days.
wearing a button-down shirt, and it's got like a checkered pattern on it, and it just looks like a tablecloth.
It's nice.
He looks professional today.
All right, so
Roxanne asked me if I had to go to court this morning because they came in with a long sleeve shirt.
all right, why don't you give me the business? Why don't you go ahead and give me the business on why you shut me down? Oh, yeah, don't start with me. Wasn't a good night last night. For you to do a little preparation for the show and send me an email with some ideas and story links.
So a week ago, first of all, guys, right? I was sending MJ some prep, and then I got interrupted. I was like, let me just send this, and I'll send more later, right? So I sent him a couple of links. And then a couple of seconds later, he writes back, 2 things, ? When I had a bunch of other ones coming. So even if I send a little bit.
Why did you send 2 and then that was it? Why wouldn't you send everything at the same time?
Because I got interrupted, and I wanted to just ship it off, and I get a condescending, jerky remark. And when you say, just send anything, send something.
No, I sent back. I sent back 2 things, ?
Right.
Oh.
I love that you ship your email.
How do you know that was condescending? How do you know the tone was not 2 things, ? Or how do you know why do you assume it was 2 things?
Well, we know how to
2 things.
we know how to read your text.
Yeah, I know when you write what you mean.
That's the problem. That's the problem with texting.
I agree. Yes.
There was a massive problem with texting.
That's exactly what you meant. You meant to be condescending.
There's a major. Can I get a word in edgewise over here?
God.
Ganja face.
Wow.
So there's a problem with texting in the sense that when you text somebody, the inflection is not always there. See, there's a major issue in that people, a lot of folks, and I'm talking about all demographics. Now, the younger generation, like my kids, Generation Z, even millennials, they're substituting like real human conversation and contact with texting. But it's also happening with older folks as well. So it's almost like there's a percentage and there's a higher concentration, I think, depending on the generation. But all people are really texting, or a lot of people are texting, and we're missing inflection. So you could text somebody something, and they might take it as obnoxious, condescending, what a bleep hole they are, when it would be different if you actually personally communicated on the phone, and we had something called a voice call. Oh my God, what is that? And you actually spoke to somebody instead of texting. It's the inflection, it's the context that's not always there.
This happened to me last night. My uncle called me because of a family text thread, and he's like, Roxanne, I think I offended Cousin Billy. And I went back and read it.
Billy?
And
Are you sure that's not Cousin Billy Bob?
No, Cousin Billy got offended by Uncle who?
Bruce.
Uncle Bruce.
And I was like, no, you're not. You didn't do anything wrong. He didn't say anything wrong. I had to translate it. But here's the answer to your problem.
How old is Cousin Billy?
40.
And how old's Uncle what?
Bruce.
Uncle Bruce.
70-something.
Okay.
So there's a miscommunication.
He doesn't have one of those jitterbug phones?
No.
He's got an actual phone you can text on?
No, he's cool. Yeah. No, he's with it.
So he has a phone you can actually take. Is a smartphone?
Yeah, he has a smartphone.
He doesn't have one of those flip phones?
No, he definitely he has an iPhone.
From Consumer Cellular?
No, he's totally with it. He's high tech, but he couldn't translate the text message. I had to be like, no, Billy is not mad at you. That's not what he meant.
You're telling me he doesn't have the cell phone with the buttons the size of bases on a baseball diamond?
When I bought my dad a cell phone, it had 3 red buttons at the top for your 3 emergency contacts to call them right away.
Yeah.
That was a slip and fall phone.
That was what that was.
Right? You fell.
Did you ever get him the life alert thing?
No, I didn't get him life alert.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
He never had life alert,
No.
but he had the phone where we had all of his numbers, and then 1, 2, 3, one for each of his kids. Call number 1 first.
All right, back to Billy Bob. And then we got to talk about this health quiz coming up. Yeah.
What number were you? 3 because you're shaped like a number 3, sort of.
Only from the side.
You guys, Uncle Bruce was like a badass homicide detective in Miami in the crazy times during the Cocaine Cowboys. And now you're painting
really?
him as like
Hold
this
on a minute.
old person.
Did your Uncle Bruce work the 168th Street shopping center murder story?
He probably did. I'll ask him, but he works in big ones.
Call him up right now.
Put him in the
Come on,
family.
he's 70. He's up at the crack of 4:30. Come on.
Did he know Tony
I'll text him.
Montana?
I'll text him.
Oh, you'll text him.
Well, there's a family text chain. That's apparently what led to this whole story. All of this by not being able to read Inflection.
It was like the Dadeland murders.
I think he was involved in. I think he was.
That was in Cocaine Cowboys.
This isn't fun
Yeah, let me-
buttons.
Yeah. By the way, hey, Cocaine Cowboys is a great documentary.
It is. It's
And
incredible.
in fact, the Cocaine Cowboy ringleader, he used like an airstrip in Lakeland.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The guy with the ponytail.
Yeah, they were flying in. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a
I
new
don't
one on
remember that part.
Netflix. There's
Okay.
a new one about the boater guys.
I'd like
Those
to
are
point out that all this has happened because I didn't send prep last night. And
Very
you're
good.
welcome for an entire segment.